Okay, so don't judge me for this story I'm about to tell you. But this is what happens at Christmas. When I was growing up, my mom learned how to make French pie, which is a pork meat pie. It's called tourtière. It's French, and that's what we had for Christmas Eve dinner. We also had homemade mushroom soup. Now, my husband doesn't love meat pie and he doesn't love the soup. My kids don't love it. I want to create my own Christmas tradition. Then my parents got divorced and we go to my dad's for Christmas Eve. So they had shepherd's pie and that Chinese cabbage salad that was yummy. When we moved to this new province and we weren't going to my dad's for Christmas Eve anymore, I got to make the decision of what am I going to make for Christmas Eve. And I remember driving to my son's basketball tournament and asking his friends, like his teammates, like, what do you guys have for Christmas Eve? What should you have? I had a roommate that they would have Wendy's on Christmas Eve because the mom didn't want to have one more meal that she had to make. Christmas Day was enough. It was the great debate. And eventually we settled on beef dip. My mom grew up on a cattle ranch. And I thought, well, this would be a nice way to honor my grandpa Jack and his brothers. Beef dip is kind of fun and feels a little bit fancy. So that's what I make. And then we have the cabbage salad from Christmas Eve at my dad's. The reason I'm telling you this story is that my mom wasn't very happy when I didn't continue the mushroom soup. She didn't appreciate that. And it's okay. As we navigate Christmas themed conflicts, I want to give you some strategies. The first strategy is knowing that everyone is allowed to make their own decisions. If you're a parent or an employee, you can have a say on what happens, right? Because you have that responsibility. But as an adult, everyone is allowed their own opinion. And if you don't agree with that opinion, or if that opinion and their actions feel dangerous, you can set a boundary and say you need to leave. That's actually going to be on the next day. We're going to talk more about boundaries. So the first one is everyone's allowed their opinion. The second is you make these two parameters for making a decision. Does it feel like love? And do I like my reasons? Does my decision feel like love? And do I like my reasons? So when you're making a decision and you're navigating these Christmas themed conflicts in your family, I can say to myself, do I like my reason for picking beef dip? And does that feel like love? Yes, because I do not want to make food that my husband and my kids don't love just so that my mom can feel happy about something she decided at random when I was born. When they lived in Ottawa, they had a friend that made this French pie, and she thought that'd be cool to do something different. That's my mom's own experience, and I have no regrets of having that for my Christmas Eve dinner, but now that it's my turn, I get to make those decisions. And so, do I love my reason? Do you like my reasons, and do they feel like love? The third thing about navigating Christmas themed conflicts is always making that decision of who do I want to be in this situation? I remember having a conversation with my dad many years ago when I was having a conflict with my sister. I was married and had kids. She was married and had kids. And she wasn't having her greatest day. And so she was being kind of a little bit rude, a little bit saucy, a little bit entitled, and it wasn't very comfortable. I remember talking to my dad and just saying, "Why does she have to be so mean?" And I was being compassionate, listening. Then I said, "Dad, I think what I really want is to show her how I want to be treated. So I'm going to model how I would want someone to treat me in this situation." That brought me back all my power. I get to decide how I want to act now. So, those are some strategies to help you with navigating family conflict. Stay tuned because tomorrow I'm going to be talking about making a family boundary, which It's going to be really helpful for you. Oh, what I was going to say was, I promise I have a good relationship with my mom, but these are just, family, moms, dads, siblings, they come up. So stay tuned for tomorrow, and I will help you with learning how to make boundaries. And the most important is to honor them.